BBC News at 4 o'clock. This is Harvey Cook. Boris Johnson is meeting Conservative backbenchers around now to try to persuade them to support him in a confidence vote. Tory MPs will vote this evening on whether he should continue to lead them. To stay in office, Mr Johnson needs a simple majority of 180. But it's not a straightforward win or lose scenario, as our political correspondent Nick Eardley explains.
Chatting to cabinet ministers and rebels over the last couple of hours, there seems to be a feeling in Parliament that it's highly likely that more than 100 people will vote against the Prime Minister. The question then is just how high it goes. And some rebels are hoping that they can get 133 votes. That matters because it would be the same percentage of people who voted against Theresa May when she had that confidence vote back in 2019. She won it, of course, but she limped on and had to go resign a few weeks later.
Opposition MPs have welcomed the vote on Boris Johnson's leadership. Labour's Sir Keir Starmer told LBC Radio that it was time for him to go.
We've got a Prime Minister trying to cling on to his job. I think most people would say, your job is to help me through the cost of living crisis, and you're not doing it because you're distracted. I think history tells us that this is the beginning of the end. If you look at the previous examples of no confidence votes, even when Conservative Prime Ministers survive those, and he might survive it tonight, the damage is already done.
Separatist leaders in eastern Ukraine say a trial of British nationals captured by Russian forces will begin today. Russian state media quotes the head of the body calling itself the Donetsk People's Republic as saying that one of the first hearings would take place in the shattered city of Mariupol, but no names were given of those standing trial. A public hearing has begun into allegations of abuse at a hospital for adults with severe learning difficulties and mental health needs in County Antrim. The hospital, Muckamore Abbey, is already at the centre of the UK's largest police investigation into the alleged abuse of vulnerable adults. The leader of the inquiry, Tom Clark QC, opened proceedings.
Because so many of the patients were either non-verbal or had difficulty communicating, they couldn't express what was happening, or they were not regarded as credible. Many of the parents and relatives and carers who trusted the hospital have been let down.
73 more monkeypox cases have been confirmed in England, with 2 more in both Scotland and Wales. That brings the total in the UK to just over 300. More flights have been cancelled today. EasyJet says 37 flights have been shelved. Other airlines have also cancelled flights. This weekend, thousands of people were left stranded when hundreds of flights were axed. And the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have thanked everyone for taking part in the Platinum Jubilee celebrations, and said their youngest child, Louis, had an especially good time. The 4-year-old was pictured animatedly watching the proceedings, making faces, and at one point pulling his cousin's hair. And that's the BBC News at 3 minutes past 4.
He certainly was. Sport now, here's Sani Ravijala.
Thanks, Steve. We start with tennis, and Rafa Nadal is a doubt for Wimbledon, which starts in 3 weeks. Yes, 3 weeks away now. The Spanish star won the French Open for the 14th time on Sunday, but says he won't play at SW19 if he's still needing pain-killing injections for a chronic foot injury. Sticking with tennis, in her first appearance in the UK since a US Open success, Emma Raducanu says she's improving despite changing her coaching setup. Raducanu made her WTA Tour debut last year at Nottingham's Tennis Centre, and she's there again for her opening match tomorrow against Victoria Golubic. With football, England manager Gareth Southgate says the aim is to beat Germany tomorrow in the Nations League game, no matter which team he fields. England lost 1-0 to Hungary on Saturday, but Southgate says whoever he plays will get the chance to use that experience to develop. And in rugby, England prop Kyle Sinclair will miss the summer tour of Australia with a back problem. The 29-year-old hasn't played since April, but is understood to be ruled out. England boss Eddie Jones has named a provisional squad of 35 players already. He's missing key players Manu Tuilangi and Henry Slade.
Cheers, Sani.
Listen live on the BBC Sounds app. BBC Radio 2.
The Big Show.
Steve Wright in the afternoon.